Hi everyone. Welcome back to an untold legendary biography. Samuel P. Huntington, 1927 to 2008, was a prominent American political scientist and academic, best known for his theories on political order, civil-military relations, and the dynamics of global conflict. His most influential work is The Clash of Civilizations and the Remaking of World Order, 1996. Which argued that future conflicts would not primarily be ideological or economic, but cultural, based on differences between the world's major civilizations. Here is a full biography of Samuel P. Huntington. Early life and education. Samuel Phillips Huntington was born on April 18, 1927, in New York City. He grew up in a middle-class family and showed an early interest in politics and international affairs. Huntington served in the U.S. Army during the final years of World War II, which likely influenced his later work in political science. After the war, he attended Harvard University. Earning a Bachelor of Arts degree in 1946, he continued his studies at Harvard, receiving a Ph.D. in political science in 1951. His dissertation, which focused on political order in changing societies, laid the groundwork for many of his later ideas. Academic career. Huntington joined the Harvard faculty in 1950, where he became a professor and eventually a prominent figure in the field of political science. Over the years, he taught and influenced generations of political scientists and policy experts. Huntington was particularly interested in how societies develop and maintain political order, especially in newly independent or developing nations. He contributed to several academic journals and served as a consultant for U.S. government agencies. Huntington was also a founding member of the Trilateral Commission, an influential organization that promotes international cooperation among the U.S., Europe, and Japan. Major works and theories. The Soldier and the State, 1957. One of Huntington's early major works was The Soldier and the State, published in 1957. This book dealt with the role of the military in political society. Huntington argued that the military's role in politics should be separate from civilian control, as the military, with its professional values, could provide stability and security in times of crisis. This work became foundational in understanding civil-military relations and greatly influenced American military doctrine. Political Order in Changing Societies, 1968. In Political Order in Changing Societies, 1968, Huntington explored the concept of political development in countries undergoing rapid social change. He argued that political order in such societies was essential for avoiding instability and that institutional development was the key to maintaining social order. This book highlighted his interest in how political systems evolve in response to modernization and the complexities of development. Huntington was particularly critical of modernization theory, which suggested that all countries would follow the same path of development, typically modeled after Western democracies. He argued that different countries may face unique challenges in their political evolution, making a one-size-fits-all approach inappropriate. The Clash of Civilizations, 1993. Huntington's most famous and controversial work is The Clash of Civilizations and the Remaking of World Order, 1996. This theory emerged from an article he wrote in Foreign Affairs in 1993, which later expanded into a full-length book. In The Clash of Civilizations, Huntington proposed that cultural and religious identities, rather than political ideologies or economic interests, would be the primary sources of conflict in the post-Cold War world. He identified several major civilizations: Western, Islamic, Hindu, Sinic, Chinese, Orthodox, and others, and predicted that tensions between these civilizations, especially between the West and Islam or the West and China, would shape global politics in the 21st century. This thesis was controversial because it appeared to oversimplify complex geopolitical dynamics, and it was criticized for promoting a clash between cultures. Nonetheless, it had a significant impact on both academic debates and popular discussions of global politics. Critics argued that Huntington's theory might provoke division and worsen relations between cultures rather than fostering dialogue. Other works. Huntington's later works continued to explore similar themes. In Who Are We? The Challenges to America's National Identity, 2004. He examined the impact of immigration on American national identity, arguing that the influx of immigrants, particularly from Latin America, threatened the core cultural values of the U.S. Huntington was concerned that the United States was losing its traditional, Anglo-Protestant identity. He also co-authored The Third Wave, Democratization in the Late 20th Century, 1991, in which he examined the global trend of democratization that occurred in the 1980s and early 1990s. He argued that the third wave of democratization would lead to a global spread of democratic values, but cautioned that this process could face setbacks and reversals in some regions. Key themes in Huntington's work: civilizations and identity. Huntington was deeply interested in the role of cultural identity in shaping world politics. His Clash of Civilizations theory, while controversial, emphasized how civilizations' distinct cultural and religious groups would be the key players in global conflict, political order, and stability. Much of Huntington's work focused on the preservation of political order. He believed that a stable political system was crucial for societal well-being, particularly in the face of rapid modernization or cultural upheaval. Civil-military relations, as explored in The Soldier and the State, Huntington was concerned with how civilian governments should relate to military institutions. He advocated for a balance where the military remained professional, but also under civilian control to avoid military overreach. Democratization and global politics. In works like The Third Wave, Huntington explored the spread of democracy across the world, particularly after the fall of communism. However, he was cautious, arguing that democratization could face significant challenges and might not be universally applicable. Personal life: Huntington was married to Nancy Marietta and had 3 children. He lived much of his life in Cambridge, Massachusetts, where he worked at Harvard University. He was known for his dedication to his work and his influential role in American political science. Later years and death: Huntington continued to be active in academic and policy discussions well into his later years. He passed away on December 24, 2008, at the age of 81. His death marked the end of a long career as one of the most prominent and sometimes polarizing political scientists of his generation. Legacy: Huntington's legacy is a subject of debate. On one hand, he made significant contributions to the study of political order, civil-military relations, and global conflict. His works, particularly The Clash of Civilizations, remain influential and are frequently cited in discussions of global politics and intercultural relations. On the other hand, some of his ideas, particularly his views on civilizational conflict, have been criticized for oversimplifying complex issues and potentially contributing to cultural and political polarization. Despite these criticisms, Huntington's work continues to shape the way scholars, policymakers, and the public understand global politics, identity, and conflict in the modern world.